Good afternoon, everyone. It's lovely having you all join our webinar. This webinar specifically is to mark International Women's Day, which falls on a weekend, but we decided to have an earlier celebration today as part of the Women Network of the Emirates Green Building Council. And the webinar specifically will be talking about empowering women leaders through guidance, mainly mentorship. And why is that? Because also today marks the launch of the mentorship program of the Emirates Green Building Council Women Network, and it is the fourth cohort. So we've been running this for 4 years. And for those who do not know, the Emirates Green Building Council is a nonprofit organization. It's more of a collaborative platform to share awareness on sustainability of the built environment. And one of our very dear programs is our Women Network, which this webinar is part of. And the Women Network specifically was created in 2021 to give women in sustainability of the built environment a platform to share knowledge and collaborate. So with that being said, I'll give the floor to Dr. Ravi Shankar Gladimpali, the CEO of Mentor Cloud, which is also the platform we will be using for our mentorship program, to talk to us more about his passion, which is mentorship, and to tell us more about his book. I believe, Dr. Ravi, it's The Art of Mentorship as well.
That's
So
correct.
please, the floor is yours.
Okay, wonderful. Thank you all very much. Ramadan Mubarak and best wishes to all of you. And may these kind of festivities bring peace to the world. Uh, and congratulations on the launch. I'm a huge believer in mentorship, especially for women mentorship. I've actually launched an initiative in Egypt, Cairo, when I said to a room full of 1,000 women, said, please take over the world and bring more nurturing and peace and good ambience in the world. Because women are naturally nurturing, naturally giving, naturally loving. So I did mention that in that World Women Economic Forum. So I'm a huge believer in when you empower a woman, you empower an entire family and an entire society. So very, very happy to be partnering and supporting your mentoring program today. And I made mentoring my life's calling. Several years ago, I had a near-death experience when the airplane I was on almost crashed into the helicopter carrying the President of India. It was a 1.2-second miss, and luckily we survived. But then the thought came into my mind, what was the unfinished job that put me back on the planet? And events, one after the other, I came to realize that I had to do something that impacts 100 million people with the power of mentorship. Now you might wonder, how did that turn to this? So I have a PhD in fluid mechanics, and I worked in supply chain for many years, where I dealt with flow of fluids and flow of products. For to me, mentoring came across as the flow of human wisdom. And that is what your program will catalyze is when mentors and mentees are connecting, they're just not having a chit chat. They're actually sharing wisdom from one mind to another mind. So in my work, I have defined, that a mentor is someone who shares their knowledge, not online to anybody in the world, but with somebody that they really care about. So I use the word a mentor is shares wisdom with a sense of care. So the two words to remember for mentors is share with a sense of care. Now, when I'm mentoring someone, I'm actually caring for their success, like a farmer does to a plant or a tree that he or she is responsible. Right? I've also defined mentoring once to see as something to see other people flourish in their own garden. So that's what mentoring is, to see other people become better in their life. Now, then how do I define the mentee? The way I define mentee is someone who trusts in the knowledge of their mentors, but doesn't stop there. I can admire a lot of people, but nothing happens through just admiration. You have to act. So I say the mentee's role is to trust and take action. When my mentor tells me read this book, I do. When my mentor says go meet this person in Dubai, I do. Only when you take action beyond that initial admiration is when magic happens. So this mentoring is, the way I look at it, is the most human thing that we can do. Because tribally and historically, if you look at the human race evolution, we have always learned from each other. We have always, if you see a good movie or if you go to on a good vacation, we share. And if you're going to a new place, we say, hey, I've never been to Dubai. Can somebody tell me how to get around and what I should look for? So, this inherent sharing of something we know is such a basic human trait. When you apply it to an entrepreneurial situation or a career situation, it can be extremely empowering. So, I always tell my mentees and to anyone I come across, young people, asking for help is a sign of strength. It's not a sign of weakness. So I put together a few thoughts. Now, learning can happen in multiple ways. You can learn from in a classroom, I call it learning 1.0, or you can learn from an online resource or chat GPT nowadays. I call it learning 2.0, but the true learning is from a human being. That because when you are learning from another human being, it becomes extremely contextual. It becomes personalized. We get to know people. I can't build a relationship with a video or chat GPT, but I can build a relationship with my mentor or my mentee because that's a human thing to do. I can feel the human energy and I can have satisfaction when the other human is doing well. So the fact that as a mentee, you get access to experiential knowledge that is personal, that is personalized to you, that helps you build a relationship, and that's also actionable. When I meet my mentor, I never walk away with, wow, that was such an amazing conversation. No, I have to do items to do. It is actionable. And even more importantly, for the mentors now, because we have in today's group, we have mentors as well. I kind of say it with tongue in cheek that to be a mentor is the most selfish thing you can do. In throughout our life, you're always told don't be selfish and selfless. But this one is the most selfish thing. And the reason I say that is you grow when you help other people grow. People ask me, yeah, I know in a mentoring relationship, the mentee gets everything, but what's about the mentor? I say, hey, the reason that you're asking this question is because you've never been a mentor. The mentors actually learn more. The mentor grows. The mentor becomes more recognized. The mentor gets built to build his or her legacy. The mentor is known. When I walk around in my company, people say, wow, that's the guy. That's the guy. Now, let me tell you how I got into this with the personal story. I would like you all to just, close your eyes for a few seconds and imagine that somebody comes to you and says, sir, can you help me get into MIT? I want to prove myself. And where I am today, I'm not able to do it. That's exactly what happened to me about a decade ago. Somebody who was visually challenged walked up to me, who cannot see, and I cannot see what he sees, and said exactly those words. Fast forward few years of mentorship and interaction, I was able to guide him to get into MIT. With top honors, he graduated. He started his first company and now a second company, a successful CEO of not an IT company. Most people think, if you are visually challenged, then you are probably stuck with a computer. He's actually CEO of a manufacturing company where 70% of his employees are either blind or are physically handicapped. Now, that transformed me. I wrote an article that for the first time, my mentee taught me the difference between sight and vision. There are many people in the world who have perfect eyesight, but they're still blind because they don't have a vision for their life. And here is a man who has no eyesight, but a fantastic vision. So, to anyone out there that's thinking, why should I be a mentor? I am the living example. it will grow you. You will build your legacy. You will be talked about when you are not there. In fact, one of the success secrets I tell people, young people, to say your growth happens when people are talking about you when you are not there. Your growth happens when somebody is talking about you when you're sleeping. That's what amplification of yourself, of your knowledge, of your brand. I can give you many, many examples of how I've been to the White House, I've been to Dubai, all because not I tried to do it. Somebody made it happen. So I encourage all of you today to take full advantage of the mentoring program and really reach out because mentors open possibilities. In the case of the story I just told you, I knew somebody who only funds the blind people, but that need never happened until I met my mentee. So your mentor's network will become your network. So leverage this very unique opportunity by reaching out, asking for help, and be vulnerable. It's perfectly okay. I have cried in front of my mentors. It's perfectly fine. Mentors, your role is to provide that space that somebody can come to you and really seek your guidance, be vulnerable so that you can really guide them based on your own experience. Mentorship is not a chit chat. Mentorship is about transfer of wisdom. So I really hope that the mentoring program supported by the mentoring platform, Mentor Cloud, will make your mentoring experience much more exciting, joyful, impactful for both mentors as well as the mentees. At the end of the day, AI is not going to change, is not going to replace humans, as everybody's keep talking about. Humans are going to be here, and we learn a lot more from each other than from an artificial intelligence tool. So I always say hi before AI, hi for
Nice
human
one.
intelligence. So thank you for the
Yeah.
opportunity, Lana,
Thank you, Dr.
and I wish
Ravi.
all the mentors and the mentees the very best. And you all will have an access to an e-copy of my book that I will encourage Lana to email it to all of you. Namaste and thank you very much.
Thank you, Dr. Ravi. That was very insightful. And I cannot wait to maybe know more about your stories, but that will require another session. With that being said, I give the floor to Anna Griffin, the CSO of AGSI, as well as the Vice Chair of the Women Network Committee, to moderate a very interesting discussion just exactly about the topic of mentorship. So, with that being said, Anna, the floor is yours.
Great, thank you. Well, wow, Dr. Ravi, I would love you to speak for another 50 minutes because your speech was really inspirational, and I think with that knowledge, what mentorship is phenomenal start to this program. I think it's great, and I really applaud what you have done for your mentees. Fantastic, and we hope to perhaps be mentees of you and I also think that the having platform will accelerate the progress and growth and for mentees to use it as much as they can. So thank you very much for your opening remarks. I think everyone has enjoyed it as much as I have. I made notes for myself already. Well, with that, just before we kick off, I would like to say a few words. At Emirates Green Building Council, we recognize that mentorship is a powerful tool in shaping the next generation of women leaders, offering guidance, inspiration, and confidence to navigate the challenges and seize opportunities. And in sustainability and built environment sector specifically, where the innovation now and the resilience are key, women's leadership is more crucial than ever. And what Dr. Ravi said, when you empower a woman, you empower the whole family, you empower the company, you empower the world. So we hope that this mentorship program will play the transformative role in shaping the careers, fostering leadership, and creating those opportunities for women in our network. So today's session, we aim to cultivate that culture of mentorship, empowering future women leaders, and strengthening our collective effort and collaboration toward more inclusive and sustainable industry. Before we kick off with the questions to the panelists, I would like to introduce the panelists with a short bio for each of them. So first on the list is Lindsay Malcolm, who is the sustainability lead for Middle East at the Turner and Townsend. He is a chartered engineer and a leader in sustainable design and strategy development, with almost 2 decades of experience working in the built environment across the UK, Europe, Middle East, and Asia Pacific. He has a diverse background in energy and environment analysis, sustainable design, and strategy development, and works closely with clients to develop solutions and build lasting relationships. Welcome, Lindsay. The second panelist is Nada El Ghazar, who is a business excellence advisor and certified professional coach at NLP, and a trainer for over 19 years of experience in corporate government excellence, coaching, and advisory services. Nada is the founder of and the CEO of Upskill X Advisory and Coaching, specializing in organizational excellence, sustainability, and coaching leaders. She has been recognized amongst the top 200 global power leaders in 2024 in Dubai, and has won 15 international leadership and empowerment awards. Nada is currently pursuing her doctorate in international business management, continuing her mission to drive excellence and personal growth. Dr. Iyad Juma Abdul Jawad. I hope I pronounced that well. Dr. Iyad is the architecture lecturer at CAAD College, Ajman University, and he's passionate about passionate architect, academic and professional, who combines the design excellence with sustainability and construction techniques. And we also have Aisha Mazuki, our mentee. So you will hear from the mentee point of view. Aisha is a graduate EP consultant and passionate about advancing sustainability in the built environment. She holds bachelor degree in mechanical engineering from the UAE University, and is very eager to become a mentee, seeing the valuable guidance to enhance her professional growth and experience. So with that, I will start with the first round of questions, and I will start with Lindsay. With all your experience, what do you think is one leadership trait that is often overlooked, but makes a mentor truly great?
That's a very interesting question. I think a lot of people on the call today will have different views on this. It's also, I'm cautious coming at this as a mentor to give an answer where I think something that would make a mentor great. But I think generally, probably the biggest thing is the ability to listen. I think all too often when we are asked for support or guidance, if we're in a position of leadership or management and we're nurturing others, it's very easy to sort of project our views or our experience, to feel like there's a way that things should be done, to sort of tell people this is what the answer is, already thinking ahead before they've even finished the question. And I think being able to sit and listen and hold space, some of the best advice I've ever been given in a sort of mentor-mentee relationship is that the mentee should be doing the majority of the talking. And I think that's very true, to sit there as the mentor, to take on what their perspectives are, what they're wanting to understand, to then distill that and be able to feed back from what you've heard. To sort of, that's where you can really share the best advice, the best guidance, and recognizing that there's always something to learn. And quite often as a mentor, you don't have to have all of the right answers or even have any of the answers. Sometimes you find that the question you're being asked or the perspective that your mentee would like you to share is one that you don't necessarily have. So that allows you then to connect them into your network, or to go on a learning experience together and sort of build your own view on things as well. But yeah, definitely that ability to listen, I think, is sort of the really key thing, listening and listening well.
Thank you. I do agree with your perspective very much, and I'm sure there was a lot of heads nodding when you were saying that. So that is very important. I would like to ask Nada, if I may, what are the key differences between mentorship and coaching, and how can professionals leverage both to accelerate their career?
Thank you so much for being here, and congratulations for this launch. I'm so happy for and pleased to be in this moment celebrating the launch of mentorship program. Actually, I believe both coaching and mentorship, they both seek the professional development and personal development. And while coaching is more about evoking questions, asking open-ended questions, the coach is more like giving the chance for the coachee to by questions. So the development comes by evoking all the time questions that could raise curiosity about the coach. The mentor, on the other side, is sharing from their own experience and life lessons. The career guidance, it could be always like industry related as well. So the mentor can be, and preferably in the industry, so they can share so much about their life experience and, a lot of knowledge from their own experience. But the coach is not allowed actually to share from their own experience, because there is no bias. We shouldn't be biased at all. It's all about client centered. But what I believe is both, if we can mix them together, the magic can happen. First, working with a mentor and then with a coach, and to combine this as a hybrid approach. I believe this could be perfectly aligning the client or the needs for them, and making sure that they're growing from a professional experience, and also setting the right mindset and making this kind of shift and reframing of their own experience based on mentorship and coaching.
Great. I like your approach with the mixing them together where you said the magic can happen. I guess that's it's also very important to balance that and know how to balance, actually, how to balance the coaching with mentorship, and where to step in with the more coaching and where to step in with more mentorship. I think that's a very fine line where that balance is needed.
Yes, just another thing with coaching, we have a code of ethics and core
Yes.
competencies, and we shouldn't be superseding. We should be very careful about the hat of coaching, consultant, therapist, and mentor. All of them have different hats, so we need to be very careful when we are conducting a session. It is a coaching session rather than a therapy or a mentorship. So here is the perspective of the client versus the coach or mentor is very important. What is the session is about? Is it about mentorship, or is it about coaching or therapy or consultancy even? So sometimes the coach is wearing the consultancy hat, so they need to stop that and be very aware and careful that they don't step into consultancy when they are coaching or mentoring as well.
Yeah, maybe there should be some list of not what not to do
Yes,
as the mentor, right?
very true.
Yeah, yeah, great, great. Because we have, as mentors, we have a natural tendency to tell mentees what to do, right? But it's not. It shouldn't be the case as far as you're saying. Great, thank you so much for your insight. I would like to hear from our mentee, Aisha. So, hearing from your perspective, is there any piece of advice that you received from the mentor in your mentor-mentee experience that shaped your journey in unexpected ways?
Thank you, Anna. First, I would like to thank Emirates GBC Women Network for offering this program and for having us a part of it. A mentor once told me that we shape our career path and we make it grow. So this happens by jumping into opportunities. And this advice completely changed how I approach my professional journey. So instead of waiting for the perfect role, the right timing, or someone to guide me, I learned to grow from actively seeking and exfoliating opportunities. But that doesn't also mean only jumping into opportunities without thinking about the opportunity if it's suitable or not. So we would have this thought if it's suitable for us, if it's going to help us to grow our profession or not. And then I learned that growth comes from actively seeking and exploiting opportunities, while also stepping into leadership roles, pursuing knowledge, and being active in multiple events, programs, and gaining knowledge from others.
And was there was that the advice that kind of shaped your career in unexpected ways? Did you take some type of a jump into opportunity that completely changed your career path?
Yes. So I graduated as a mechanical engineering. I didn't thought that I'll be involved in the field, like a construction field, or even the sustainability itself. So this advice, which is jumping into opportunities, opened many different doors to me. So being involved in this field is by following this advice, and it also developed my career path. It helped me in growing, being stronger and more efficient.
Okay, great. And this is what Dr. Ravi said is the trust, right? Is that
Yes.
trusting the mentor in advice as well. So it's very important. So well done. Great. So now I would like to ask Dr. Iyad, if you had to choose, what is the one habit or mindset mindset shift or habit shift that makes someone a long life learner?
Well, thank you so much for this very lovely and exciting question. This is kind of a debate. Everybody here is going to have kind of a point of view, but I believe that maybe a one word may have plenty of subcategories, which I would call curiosity. If you create or you make someone passionate to know and be curious to learn more, that would open many doors to them. Let me first of all tell you that I would talk about this in the academic perspective as I'm teaching since 2008. Um, the students, and as I was a student, I would be so passionate and curious to know more. How would this work? How does that work? What is happening here? What's that? In any kind of perspective, whatever the topic is. So the curiosity will really open a lovely disclosure for the student, or even for us, whoever is working, whether you are senior or junior, you would like to know more. And that is the very lovely bright door which you can open whenever you start digging and searching here and there. because this will give you an active seek to opportunities. This will let you grow more. It's going to give you different ways to see how this topic is talking about from different point of views. And from that kind of, let's say, curious door, you can find your right career, because some people might start their approach and they say that this is my job, this is my approach, this is my specialization in this school. And after a bit time, because they've been open, they are curious to ask what's happening here and there. They figure out that, oh, no, this is not my approach, this is not my target. I would like to do this. And it all happened because of the curiosity. And I believe that this happens also because if you let the person study and read more, not academically, but to read more, let's say every day you read something, it will open to you a new perspective, a new approach in your life, and that will let you be more a person who would like to ask. You know, whenever you ask, you will get an answer, whether it's right or wrong. And then because you are curious, you would try to confirm if this is a question which was answered right or not. And that is actually kind of a lovely secret in the life, where whenever you know more, you would like to know more and more, and you get more humble in yourself, but so much more open-minded. That's what I believe in.
Right, I love it. I think curiosity is a very important trait, and something that, as you said, can open the doors to unexpected career paths, right? Because you starting as you said, asking more questions, the right questions. You read more, you gain the knowledge, and
Correct.
very, very, we don't know what we don't know, right? So,
Because also,
so
you know, that would give you an internal feeling that you would like to know more about the life. And from a way or another, this is actually creating for you very lovely platforms, opportunities. And this is the passion. You know, every day you are aware of what's happening. You would like to know what you were doing. This is all because someone would like to know more.
mm, I can feel that passion from you. I now I now understand how you chose your career as well, Pat, because it's
Correct.
being a professor or a lecturer. It's all about the curiosity.
Mm,
That's fantastic. Thank you so much for your insight.
thank you.
Lindsay, over to you. I wanted to ask about next generation. So mentorship very often focuses on guiding the next generation of leaders. But what is one unexpected lessons that you've learned from a mentee that changed how you lead?
Um, I mean, I'll tell you about something unexpected, but I think if I had had the privilege of being involved in a panel like this and access to the wisdom of my fellow panelists, it probably wouldn't have been unexpected because I should have known it would happen. But I think for me is that recognition that a good mentor-mentee relationship develops both sides. So you're going into the relationship, you're looking at what's going to come from this experience for me, what's the learnings that I'm going to take away from this, and how is that going to change the way that I engage with others in the future. And I think that's particularly powerful when we look at mentoring women for leadership, because in the construction industry, that's something that hasn't happened enough historically. I think it's something that we need to do more as male leaders in the industry to sort of advocate and support that. And I think going back to what Dr. Ayad was saying about curiosity, and what Dr. Ravi was saying before as well about the sort of the connectivity you have, it's something that you're always going to learn from this. You're going to gain more as a mentor and come out of that relationship with a different perspective to compared to the one that you went in with. And that's always a sign of a good relationship and a relationship that's been approached with an open mind. I think it's really important to sort of have that view that things might change, and particularly where we're looking at the next generation coming into the industry. Like a lot of us on this call have been in the industry for a decade or more, and the perspectives in the market have shifted. Sustainability wasn't the focus when I first started working that it is now. And certainly things like the emergence of technology, whether it's saying hi to AI or whether it's getting involved in building information management and computational modeling and things like that, there's always new things, new approaches and new ideas. And the way that the next generation, whether it's Gen Y, Gen Z, Gen Alpha, or whoever's beyond that, engages with the built environment is hugely different to the way that we did and our parents did in the context we have from growing up and starting out. So having that openness, that perspective will give you insights that you don't expect to come from the conversations, which not only helps change the way that you lead and enhance the way you lead, but it also changes the way that you approach sustainability, approach the built environment, approach the industry as a whole. I think that's hugely powerful for us all to kind of go through that experience.
Yeah, great. Thank you. I think it's a very important aspect that you mentioned, because the new generation is very different from us, as in the older generation. They think differently, they have different perspectives, they want different things, they conduct themselves different. They have this technology-led mindset as well, which is driving their a lot of things that they do. So that is very important for the mentors as well. Thank you for your insight. Nada, I have a question for you. Can mentorship ever be harmful? If so, how do we ensure it empowers rather than limits us?
Great question. Thank you so much, Anna. Yes, it could be harmful. Any relationship that is not based on mutual understanding, mutual chemistry. With every, when we kick off any kind of coaching or mentorship relationship, there needs to be like kind of harmony, kind of chemistry. So there needs to be like some alignment of what the client needs and what the mentor is offering. Otherwise, it wouldn't be like built on upon like mutual understanding and mutual trust. So again, one of the very important parts is being trusting the mentor himself and having a safe space. I should be very careful about the confidentiality. I shouldn't be speaking about anything that has been, what happens in the room stays in the room, as they say. So we cannot ever take anything out. So this needs to be some confidentiality maintained, because they might, raise some concerns or raise some personal story. So there needs to be some confidentiality, and also making sure that the sorry, can you hear me now?
Yes.
Yeah, sorry. Making sure that there is some kind of also no bias or no judgment. The mentor should be very careful about the judgment and having a biased, understanding or biased perspective towards the mentee. So we need to remove any kind of bias or judgment. I have to be very curious about the client themselves. Also very important about I need to be as a mentor updated about the current trends and market trends. So I shouldn't be outdated, because I might be sharing something that has been already not in the market anymore. So I need to also, as a mentor, as a responsibility to be updated all the time and make sure that I'm having the latest trends, and making sure that I'm also aligned with the market and everything. Also, one of the things is the presence. The presence, I need to be very careful about my presence. I shouldn't be distracted with anything while I'm having this mentorship. Presence means that I'm actively listening, that I'm curious about the mentee, making sure that I'm always evoking awareness about them, and making sure that I'm asking questions that could also help them in growing. So a responsibility of the mentor is also about the growth of the mentee. So if this is not happening, it would be rather a toxic, relationship, not very fruitful and not very useful for the mentee themselves. So these aspects are very, we need to be very careful about it. And we need also to make sure that I'm providing advice based on full trust and, full authenticity. As we have been talking, I need to be authentic enough to share from my own experience and give the best to the mentee.
Great, thank you, Nada. You mentioned something interesting: no judgment or no biases. Now, we have some biases that we are even not aware of. We are unconscious biases, right? Which come from our, upbringings, environment that we were brought up in, etc. How do you recognize that within yourself as a mentor, and how this can translate into the relationship? Because these unconscious biases can be harmful, right?
Yes, very much. Actually, this is where coaching comes in. So, you know what I said about the coaching. Also, we can have coaching tools to the mentors, implemented to the mentors where they explore their own limiting beliefs, their own values, their own, is it matching with the mentee or not? So we need, as mentors, be very aware of our own values, of our own, limiting beliefs, of our own maybe a judgmental attitude or behavior that is not serving at all the mentee. So here is where some of exercises and tools can be applied that I'm very happy to share with mentors as well from my own coaching experience, that they could also have some, homework about themselves. It could help so much.
I think that would be wonderful to share with the mentors, to have that awareness
Yes.
about ourselves, because the growth comes from the awareness as well first, right? Great, thank you so much. That was a very, very valuable insight. I would like to hear again from our mentee, Aisha, from your perspective, if mentorship had no formal structure and no meetings, no defined roles, how and why would you seek guidance and support?
So I guess if there is no like formal mentorship structure, I would seek for meaningful conversations and learning from real world by like having communication with the mentor itself. Because I believe that mentorship should be under formal structure. Um, I also believe like by being curious, asking insightful questions, and surrounding myself with people who are growing inspiringly is a key to continuous development. I would turn to professional networks as well, industry events, and even informal discussions to gain a new perspectives. And sometimes I'll go for like to get guidance from unexpected places. Whereas like casual conversations or personal experiences, while also like having, let's say, any kind of conversation with you, Anna, like could give me insightful way for mentorship. So I believe like even though without like a structured mentorship, I will also seek for meetings for a defined roles mostly. And I would look for to gain knowledge by meetings and conversations.
Perfect, great. I think that that's a great thing for our mentees to take note of for the upcoming program. Great. And I have another question for Dr. Iyad. This is one of the last questions. How can mentorship bridge the gaps in education system to better prepare future leaders?
Well, lovely. So first of all, let me talk about how I'm going to answer this question. As per my academic experience, and I've been also to the parallel working as a consultant, architectural consultant in an office which is owned by the university itself. So I was working professional, parallel, simultaneously, I'm doing my academics. Now, this is what's going to happen. Actually, I am trying to share with my students as much as I can the experience that they are going to see in the real world. So, this is something really crucial in our specialization, and I believe it's going to reflect in all of the other cases where you want to tell the person, the mentee, how much really the real life is clear, and that's going to clarify for them the approach. So I am trying for that case to give them a very clear guidance beyond all of what's going to happen in the future. Like I'm showing them, this magic crystal, and I will show them what will happen after 3, 4, 5 years of their lives. So this is something important in the academic mentorship, I believe. In addition, that the relationship between us as mentee and mentor should never be, someone is up and the other one is down. We have to be all of the time head to head, and I will try to go for their imagination, for how much they can really observe, and then try to escalate which with each other gradually. That I really have noticed with the juniors, and it worked so perfectly with me. And also with the seniors, they know more, they understood more, but the comprehension is not yet there. And that's what the career guidance is going to really help them. From time to another, you should show an emotional support because we're not numbers, actually. We are feeling, we have to give human instructions wherever you feel that they cannot really do this job. Give it postpone, give it more time, and they will like it. They will be happy with it. And even this feeling of gratefulness is going to reflect in the upcoming support, in the upcoming assignment or due. I believe in our days that we have a beautiful way to do this mentorship clearly, and it's going to guide them for the future. That we have to use the technology to shrink and bridge the gap in a much faster pace. That we use the digital resources, we can make good online tools. The lovely tools that are happening right nowadays are making many things so fast and well imagined, and that can also bridge a good gap. The virtual platforms, from time to another, it's really good and healthy that you conduct a virtual lecture like we're doing now, this webinar. You can do such kind of a connection through a virtual platform. This is what I think that's going to be crucially important. Now, if we talk about the things in a very quick steps, if you finish to crystallize that person and polish their skills to an extent that they are really going to be ready for the market, for the future career, so you have really done a good job for them. Did we show them the real world and the perspective, pros and cons of each of their attempts? In that case, you are preparing them for a more realistic approach. And definitely, because in our specialization, and I think in many others, we have what is called the internship. So the internship is kind of a summer course where the students are going to conduct months in a professional field, and they are going to do this in 2 years. The first year, they are going to be shocked, surprised, and when they come back, they will do very realistic and nicely well-designed work. And the second year, after this shock, they are more developing in their skills, and they give you a much better networking because they have worked in that company X, company Y, and company Z. They have now more realistic and better way to understand how the life is happening out there. And you are spreading them around the network that you know from different companies that will make them a good connection as individual with that very lovely company. Now, how are we building the confidence? This happened because we do what is called the jury. We question the students every week and another. They stand out, they talk, they become more confident, and that would give them a better way to really be the leader of the future. The conversation and the way of dialogue is the best way that you can convince someone. And that's the deal of what's called advertisement. Now, if they don't have a strong eye contact, if they cannot really talk strongly, emphasizing whenever they want to say that this is the best, that is whatever, they will not be able to protect or defend their projects and in the future to protect their company. So, believe it or not, this is something so important We build it from
Yes.
the scratch in the year foundation until they graduate. And then we bring professionals from outside to see and ask the students, why did you do this? How did you do that? And they try to, to bring the inside out, to polish
Mm,
their skills until they are really be able to take their career path by their own selves. And I've noticed that many senior students, they tell me that, I was so happy with this course and I liked it to an extent that I would like in the future to be that person. I would be this specialization. I would like to be a photographer. I would like to be a visualizer because I love that course. The tutor, the instructor was very lovely to me. She was kind that she gave me all of the things and she was never telling me no. Everything will really reflect in that mentee one day or the other. So I believe that
mm.
in addition to all of these, the feedback is very important. Whenever we get feedback, I trust that we never say bad or terrible. We have to use other words. I think that this is lovely, but if you do this and
Mm.
that, so the feedback is something so crucial. It can improve the personality of the person and can then give them more push to do more work, or it can depress them and they will never do any extra
Yeah,
job.
great. So it
So
looks like it looks like you have a great system to bridge the gap in a education systems your education system. And I think, yeah, as you
yeah,
said, the feedback is timely feedback is very, very important. Conscious of
yeah,
the
indeed.
time, we have 8 minutes, and I think we can open the floor. But or maybe before we open the floor to some questions, Dr. Ravi, do you have any kind of a closing remarks of on what you have heard from our panelists?
Yeah, I'm just amazed by the collective intelligence here, and having a mentee here was a very good idea to really get Aisha's perspective. So I think I would love to answer any questions that come from the audience. So let's use this time to see
Yes, perfect.
because I would like everyone who's listening today and who's in the program have very clear action items. In fact, I do an exercise. So everybody write down what will you do in the next 1 hour, what will you do in the next 1 week, and what will you do in the next 1 month. Because this webinar is not going to meet its goals if we all just listen and walk away. So I would like every mentee to take a pen and a paper and do something. Like I will read this book, or I will reach out to a mentor, or I'll become a mentor in my school, whatever it is. Take action. That's when magic happens. Open to questions.
Okay, great. So first of all, everyone has to make their commitments for what they're going to do in 1 hour, 1 week, and 1 month to progress in their goals, wherever the goals are. So please, and Dr. Ravi, you said without action, nothing happens, right? We can have lovely chit chats and conversations, but without action, nothing will happen. And also putting ourselves in those situations when we do the action, when we get out of our comfort zone, that's when we grow. So with that, I would like to open the floor for questions. We have 6 minutes, so please either write your question in the chat or raise your hand. Anyone? There must be some question.
I'm keeping my eye on the chat box or the Q&A box. It's almost end of day, I think, for many of us, so maybe some people are almost wanting to go home.
Yeah,
But
yeah. I'll leave
for
it
Can
to
me,
I
you,
just give
Lana,
a
to.
very quick comment?
uh-huh.
As you were saying, Anna, regarding the token, I would confirm it with a famous architect. His name is Le Corbusier. He said, I prefer drawing to talking. Drawing is faster and it leaves less room for lies.
Yeah. Fabulous.
Good one.
Fabulous.
Something I mean that I will definitely ponder over after this webinar is the different roles we play. And sometimes even if I'm not assigned as a mentor or a mentee, there are so many conversations that happen throughout the day. So back to Dr. Ravi's opening remarks, how do you leave an impact? How do you make a difference? How do you maybe support someone in a way or another? And I believe one of the loveliest things I can receive is a message telling me that you were a reason why something happened or I took this decision, even if I was not conscious. That being said, I think we have a
Yeah, we do
question.
have a question.
Yes.
Yes. So the question is from Sharu John. As someone transitioning into sustainability from a different field, how can I maximize the impact of mentorship to build credibility, expand my network, and position myself effectively in this industry?
I can
Anyone
potentially.
already?
Yeah, I think she's already in this group is maximizing the impact. So, I mean, joining subject matter experts in this group and as well, you know, getting to know more about certifications and sustainability, maybe read more about government excellence and how they connect as well to pillars of the UAE Vision 2030. The sustainability is one of the main pillars. Maybe also transitioning the ESG, you know, it's more about the governance as well, the CSR. So many things or so many pillars come into sustainability right now. It's not only the environment, because some people were perceiving sustainability as only the environment and making sure about the environment related concerns. But now sustainability has so much to give as well. I've been also a judge into some of the Gulf Sustainability Awards. I mean, there are so many awards that you could be a judge to improve your skills on judging and assessment. Whenever you take the mentorship, you could also join any of these awards as a team leader or judge. So you could also give a perspective of assessments to different, you know, initiatives in UAE and in the Gulf or even globally. So I'm talking from the excellence background as government excellence advisor. So there is so much to in the UAE is happening in sustainability pillar, and you can always write me if you need any help in these or any kind of references. I would love to support you, Sharo.
Yeah, I would like to add that Sharu, start living a sustainable life to build credibility. Walk to work, don't waste food. Just everything that is required that you know about sustainability. It's about work. It's about your practices, and I think that's and then find someone who you admire in that field and follow that person very very closely on LinkedIn, on Instagram. Comment and write and let people know that this is something you care about. That is how you build credibility. And I always say this: if you want to become a good singer, keep singing, and eventually one day you will become better at it, and the world will take you seriously. So if you want to build credibility, it's just by doing. Go follow people, go volunteer, and what you're doing today by by in this program, your network has already expanded. Like Nada has extended her and that you can reach to her. We're all here. We're all here to help, and we would like to see you thrive, shine, and truly excel in this new area.
Thank you.
Love it. Love it. Lana, I will let you now guide the end of the session.
Yes, I mean, I don't have much to say. I believe this session will leave us with a lot of thoughts and want to make positive change and impact. Thank you so much for your time. And thank you, Anna, Lindsay, Dr. Ravi, Aisha, Nada, and Dr. Iyad. Inshallah, we'll meet up soon. And thank you
Thank
for
you,
all those who
everyone.
attended. Have a lovely day.
Thank you so much, Lana, and
Thank
everyone.
you.
Thank you very
Bye
much.
bye.
Thanks for
Thanks
having
all.
me.
Thank you. Thank
Bye.
you very much. Bye.
See ya.